All right, we all know the whole internet turned against Asman because he said some wild things. Granted, was he wrong on the idea, the notion, the meet and greets of what he was saying? I don't know. I was got to pick up a lot of what he put down, but you cannot call another culture inferior. And once he went on that and then double backed on it in that little clip, that infamous clip that went around, you all know it, it really kind of bit him in the butt. So he got banned on Twitch. He's taking a break from YouTube. He's just taking a step back. And he's talking about in this video his plans moving forward. Now, I already saw this video. I actually had a reaction piece on it, but I don't know what happened to my audio in that one. It was just completely mute from my end and Asman. So it was super frustrating. So we're back again. And now that I'm kind of spoiled on this video, I will say pay attention to one. He says words are meaningless, actions are everything. That's powerful, and he wants you to hold him accountable. But in the back of your head, think about all the other YouTubes, Instagram influencers, celebrities, whatever, and think about their apology videos, and then rank this alongside of it because this may be the best. I mean, I'm what Asman says in this video. I think is very mature, very self-reflective, and I think a lot of people could take notes on how to grow when they make mistakes.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you all about what my reason was for getting suspended on Twitch and also what my plans are going forward. I'm going to try and structure this video into two parts, where the first part is going to be me talking about the Twitch suspension, second part is going to be talking about myself. And the first thing I want to start off with is something that I know it might sound a little bit insincere because of how ridiculous this is, but I really mean it, and if you listen to the whole video, I hope you can see why. Everybody who's come and spoken out and talked to me and said stuff about me, aside from the, oh, you should kill yourself or something like that, I want to say that I really appreciate you. And I think this has been something that's a long time coming. And I actually think that this is something that not only I deserved, but it's also something that I needed. And I want to talk about what the reason for
People make boneheaded decisions all the time. I know in your day-to-day life, somebody has to have made an action, done something, and then immediately afterwards be like, "Why did I do that?" I wouldn't even do that right now. So there's we have to give some grace when people mess up, right? Especially when they're a YouTube celebrity and their whole route is just going down these rabbit holes and slowly losing themselves. It's nice to see that he had a support system to help him, but you could bring a horse to water. That doesn't mean you could force him to drink.
that is, but I want to start off and just make sure that that's actually very clear. So a couple of days ago, I made some comments about Palestine and also about Hamas and, some just general, basically opinions that were trivializing the genocide that's happening there. And I don't really want to like mince words or like try to like, I wasn't justifying or, promoting it. I said something about it that was disgusting. I said that I didn't care about innocent people getting killed by another force, by anything. And I think that that's a horrible, disgusting, mean-spirited thing to say. And I don't necessarily think that it was really racist, really. But when I'm using language like Palestinians or like the people there, rather than what my real language was, I've always been very outspoken and very against religious extremism. And I still am. I think that any religion and any way of thinking that's going to cause you to put other people in like kind of positions below you as like gay people, women, people with disabilities, anything like that, I think that that's a really bad position to have, and I really don't like that. And I think that my problem and
I said this in the first video, and I'm going to make sure I point it up again. I think any form of extremism is bad, right? Like religion, radical religion, people who radicalize education, people who radicalize and corrupt the financial institution. Anything that's to the extreme, I think, has pretty much been taken, and now we're getting diminished returns.
my fault here was that I was making a criticism of religious extremism, and I made no effort. And I feel like almost I've rewatched the clip, right, or a number of the clips, and it's like I've almost made an effort not to draw a distinction between the two things. I think that a lot of us here can easily say that we're against religious extremism, and I am. But whenever I categorize everybody in the area as this like group, then I'm the asshole, and I was the asshole. I had a lot of you guys tell me that. And it's taken me, this is what's so crazy about it, is that I think this has been going on now for like 2 years. I think that I've been slowly devolving into the most mean-spirited, just like, I don't really even know what the word is for it.
Maybe cynical. Maybe cynical is a good word for it. And I'm not gonna lie, guys. During this election cycle, I've been following it like fucking the NFL, like sports, right? And sometimes I come home and I'm on Twitter for a few hours, try to go down and I'm trying to do my best to listen to both sides and just get all of the opinions, hear all of the interviews, hear all of the facts. Not even just from the candidate, from the people from underneath them who support them and around them. And I feel like I'm going crazy, right? Like even me and some of the people at the gym, we go back and forth. It's like, damn, thankfully I have them. Thankfully I have my beautiful girlfriend to vent to and joke and be like, man, I feel like I'm going crazy. But if you're somebody who is like Asman, who's a CEO of company, two companies was at least, did has this YouTube channel, has the Twitch channel, has a good relationship with his pops, but like where he doesn't have the same level of support that like I do, right? Like he has way more responsibility and daily stresses than I do that I don't have to worry about. So my support system doesn't need to be as solid framework. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Um, but this is it's just yeah.
Just like the most mean-spirited, rude, like nasty, like just callous.
This is what I was getting at. It's like being on the internet. You guys know me. I'm a fitness guy, right? So like I believe in health or yeah, health, working out, trying to improve yourself. If we improve ourselves physically, we can improve ourselves mentally by reading good books and X, Y, and Z. But that's just like eating healthy food. You also kind of have to stop eating the junk food, or at least proportion and get it in moderations is the word I'm looking for on junk food. The same thing with like junk information. Uh, we need that in moderation. We can't just always be going down rabbit holes, or you're gonna turn into Alex Jones.
This psychopathic version of myself. I think that I've been devolving into this. And a lot of my friends have told me this. My dad has told me this. He said, you've got to chill out. You've got to calm down. I've been like, oh, that old man doesn't know what he's talking about. And I've finally had some level of accountability for that. And thank God. I look back at some of the things that I've said and done over the past 2 years, and I don't think that I've been wrong about everything, obviously, right? But there have been ways that I've communicated and ways that I've acted that are indefensible. And I think looking back on it, it's just disgusting. And it's something that when you get lost in the sauce and you get fixated around like listening and reading feedback and, just getting hyper fixated, this is like your entire life, you
So I was getting
lose
at.
a perspective on reality and you lose a perspective on the world. And I think that perspective was brought into perspective yesterday and the day before, when I was making comments like this. And, I feel so stupid. It's crazy. So I'm getting all these people making negative comments toward me. Everybody is telling me like, oh, go kill yourself. I hate you. Everything like this. Do you know who reached out to me? And they wanted to talk and have a conversation and see if I was okay. It's people that were Islamic and people that had fucking family in Palestine. And how humiliating is that? How absolutely humiliating is that? And these were the people I was trying to say were bad. And
And I think a lot of the time when we're looking at people, we're making these generalizations and these stereotypes. In the video that I originally made, I brought up Russia and China, right? Those are places in America. We kind of look at them as like the op, right? If we're on the alliance, they're the horde. But most of the time, and I'm sure this would even be true in the World of Warcraft world, it's the government. It's the people who are trying to govern who are the ones that we have the issue with. Right here, even America, when we talk about like, man, like we know most Americans are good people, but we look at politicians and bureaucrats. I don't want to give them the same thing and say most of them are good. I think there are good, but I think most of them are corrupt. I think that true to be the same thing in China and Russia, where you go through and you just go to the bar on a Friday night from a dude or a couple that have just worked all week and they're just trying to have a good time and you have a conversation with them. You probably have so much in common. And you probably could sit back and have some drinks, depending on where you're at, some vodka or sake, and sit back and talk about how fucked the government is, right? And how incompetent they are.
I feel like such a fucking stupid asshole. I really do. I've always been I guess like I've always been kind of like an atheist, and even as a young kid, I was raised Roman Catholic, and I was always very defiant towards it. And I've always had a negative opinion of religion, and I've also had a negative opinion of religious cultures. And I think that opinion is definitely shaped by the media that I've created, and the media I've created for myself, and then also just the media that exists, the media that I've chose to seek out as well. And I think that media has allowed me to have certain predispositions and certain biases that
Super self-reflective there.
the truth is that don't have any sort of relation to what my own real life has been experienced, or what my own real life experience has been, excuse me. And so I've been spending a lot of time talking to those people, and I've seen people like fans of mine. Like I had viewers messaging me on Discord, like, you know, why are you saying this? Like, do you want to talk? Do you want to, like, you know, I'm willing to talk to you, and, like, you know, like, let's try to work this out, right? We love you. And I scrolled up on their messages, and these are people that messaged me in like 2016, 2017, 2018. Like, I love your content, I love your stream, I love you, right? And now they get to hear this from me, and I just feel like such a stupid, belligerent fucking asshole. I really do, and I'm sorry. I really am. I think that it's extremely fair to criticize religious extremism, and I think that it's extremely unfair to categorize everybody in part of that group as religious extremists. I think it is, and I'm really sorry for that. I've just been a fucking dick, and it's weird because yesterday I woke up and I didn't know if I was going to get suspended or not, and I planned on streaming and everything, and I actually got a text message from one of my mods. They said, "Oh, I heard about the suspension. I'm sorry," and I was like, I remember I was like driving, and, like, you know, you'd think that like your heart rate would go up, but if anything, I felt more relaxed. I felt like finally I have a moment to just take a step back and breathe and think for myself and just stop, just like get out of my own head. And I spent a long time like just writing basically a list of all of these things that like I think that I should be doing with my life. And this is going to be kind of the second part, by the way, of the video. Comments that I made were pretty much about religious extremism. I think it's bad, but I've categorized a lot of people in that way. That was unfair. It's wrong for me to have done that. I said something that was bad. I should not have said that. I should have chosen my words more carefully. I didn't do that. I doubled down on it. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. That's pretty much. I was a fucking asshole. I was a piece of shit. I'm sorry.
I mean, what more? So many times people come out, and this is a point that I want to bring up. I think this is super important. I think it's super mature and super I don't want to say powerful, but I'm going to use the word powerful of Asmon here to do that. When someone makes a mistake, when you make a mistake, I'm not saying that that in itself is powerful, but when you have a loved one, friends, or what it feels like the entire world caving in on you, saying that you made a mistake, it's so easy to double down, curl your fist up, and just start swinging because you feel like you're being attacked. But most of the time, not all of the case and not all of this, but most of that energy being directed at you is being directed at you with love at it, because they know that that's not the people that are doing it most often time are like, hey, like when I saw this and I made a video about it, I'm a fan of Asmon, and even in the video I'm like, I can't sign on with the words that he's saying here. You know, I don't like him. You reach out to him, you say, hey, I hope you're well, hope everything's going good. If anything's in you bothering you, anything's like holding you down, reach out, show love. You know, that energy is powerful. And if you allow it to go into your life, and you can allow that energy to help you be reflective, look back and see how you can improve on your life, I think that's super powerful. And it sounds so easy and sounds so cheesy, maybe a little gay, but there's a lot of truth behind it.
I don't know what else to say. And so, actually, I do know what else to say. I don't like making apologies because I think words don't matter. But I do think changed actions and changed behaviors do. And so you can take my apology as hopefully better content. And if you're not seeing that, I want you to hold me accountable. Hopefully this time I won't be stupid enough to ignore it. Mouth is pretty dry. Anyway, so the second part about this is that I want to talk a little bit about like my life, my personal life, etc., and kind of some of the points that I think that I've kind of gone through.
He cracks me up.
So the main thing is that for the past, like, I would say like 10 years or so, if you look at my life like this, I would have said 10 years ago or maybe 8 years ago, streaming was like this, right? YouTube was like this. And now I would say that my life and streaming are basically the exact same size. And what I mean by that is that streaming is my entire life. Doing this is my entire existence. And I think that the process of that has been extremely unhealthy for me. And I think that what it's done is that it's allowed me to become such a one-dimensional person that I'm not even a person anymore. It's like I'm Dark Souls, I'm going hollow or something. And I think about like all of the, like, I made a list of all of the things that I'm not doing in my life that I should be doing, and I was writing it down, and I'm like, you know, fucking, like, I'm just going and going and going. I'm like, oh my god, I think it'd be shorter if I transcribed the Bible. Like, this is insane. Like, like, whenever I have everything written down line for line, it's like, oh my god, I'm ruining my life. I've been existing, and I want to, at a certain point, actually try to live my life. And I don't think that I've been doing that. And so, what am I going to do? How am I going to do that differently? And what does that mean for my stream, etc.? I think that I'm going to cut down a little bit on streaming quite as much. And I think I'm also going to cut down... This is going to sound like... I hope I can say this in the right way. I feel like the main times that I laugh on my stream nowadays are when I'm laughing at other people. And I look back on videos that I did from 2020, 2016, and 17, and yeah, I've always been an asshole, but holy shit, I've been way more of an asshole. It's insane. And it's a night and day difference. And I've had, again, everybody in the world telling me this, including my own dad, and I've just ignored them. And finally, it's like, you know what? Maybe I'm an asshole. Maybe this is too far. Maybe I need a course correction, which is why I think that like getting suspended in this.
Everyone, everyone were given opportunities in life, and sometimes opportunities aren't presented in the best of ways, right? It kind of presented in a fight or flight situation in case of Aspen. You only get so many of those opportunities in life, and you know exactly, hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Those opportunities where you look back and you kind of regret the actions that you did. You wish you did something a little different. All of those times, those add up and kind of hold us back in life. All those negative things. So we have to be prepared, and you also have to be self-reflective enough to know, hey, right now, either I'm really uncomfortable or this is a really good thing. I need to know when to take advantage of the opportunity. And in the wise words of Clint Eastwood, a man has to be comfortable and know his own limitations. And you got to be honest with yourself and look at yourself through a true, honest, discerning eye.
I hope that it's one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And I don't know whether that's going to be true, but I'm going to try to do things differently and make sure to live up to that reality. And so, what are those things that I'm going to be doing differently? The first thing is that I think I'm going to try. I've been very much trying to like maintain a consistent schedule with my stream, and I will continue to do that. I want to get up and go to bed at relatively the same time. I want to live a normal life, and also I want to spend maybe a little bit less time streaming, and I want to spend more time creating my own videos and doing my own things and spending time on things that I really enjoy, and basically just like expanding my existence as a person. I think that ever since I started like OTK and I got involved with that, and then we had like other Starforge and like Mad Mushroom and Mythic and everything, like I honestly, it's been too much for me to handle. Been completely too much for me to handle, and I've been losing my mind dealing with it. And
So, to be honest with yourself, like this is powerful, guys. I hope so many people can look back. If you're watching this video, please write down all the things that you're doing in life, the things that you think you're doing good, right? And then a list of things that you think you can improve on. And things you can improve on could stop eating junk food, wake up earlier, go to bed at a decent time, work out, stuff like that. Things that you could be doing right are like being patient, being kind, doing the dishes, keeping your house clean. You know what I mean? Like write out all the good things that you can, right? List out all the things that you want to improve on, weigh them out, and then start going down the list and start improving on those ones, and keep doing the things that you're doing good and keep stacking on top of that. You start doing those small little things, all of a sudden that's going to lead to huge monumental changes in your life.
I try to hide it the best I can because, you know, I try to do the best, right? I try to do my best. You know, it doesn't matter how hard it gets. You just keep going. You just keep going. It doesn't matter. And eventually it does matter. And I think that I've negatively affected a lot of them. And I also don't want to talk about that just in the context of just like this recent controversy. I want to talk about this in the context of the last 2 years. I think that I haven't really been able to fulfill my responsibilities as a leader in a lot of cases to them. And I think that I've let a lot of people down. And there have been things that I've done that are positive as well. But I think that one thing this thing has taught me, this whole situation has taught me, it's made me realize, is that I need to get myself in check. I need to get my mind under control. I need to, like, just get my life. I need to fix my fucking life. Like, it's insane. Like, I think about it and it's in shambles. Everything about my life is basically fucked. And I'm going to take a step back from all of that. I'm going to step away from my leadership position in OTK and Starforge and everything. I want to, and they're fine with that. They respect that, and I want to do this. And I want to do this not only for them, but mainly for myself, so I can be a better version of myself for everyone. And I want to apologize to all you guys, my viewers, that I don't think I've lived up to that. I think that I can be a lot better than what I am right now. And I don't even think that I've been putting in half the effort that I should be in the way that I should be. And I'm sorry. And so my plan is to, when I get unbanned, I'll keep streaming regularly, right? And I want to focus more on trying to do things that are fun, trying to laugh more with people rather than at people. I'll still laugh at people every once in a while, okay? Like let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But it's about a focus, and it's about a tone. I listen to my tone in the clip, and I just sound like such a piece of shit. Really, at the end of the day, I sound like a piece of shit. I sound like a terrible person, and it's just so mean-spirited and callous and just mean. And I don't want to be that person anymore. And I've I've spent a long time growing up. The time I did, I was an r/atheism enjoyer. I have a very negative opinion of a lot of religions. I've had the experience firsthand of the negative effects of Christianity and the way that I view that. And I've always read a lot of very bad things about Islam, and I've made a lot of criticisms of it. I've talked to a lot of people about it. I've heard a lot about it, and I've been like watching things about it, and I've been like hearing people telling me this is the way it is, but I've never seen it. And I actually think that after all this, I think towards the end of next year, I think I'd like to visit the Middle East and see it for myself. I want to see it for a historical perspective, right? I would love to go to Istanbul in Turkey. There's no ulterior motive there at all. But it's not just that. I'd love to visit places like Saudi Arabia, Dubai, any of the other places. I mean, the truth is that, and this is the worst thing about what I said, some of the places I would want to visit, I might not be able to because of the way that they're like just the internal strife, the actual literal wars that are going on, people being literally killed there, and I might not be able to do that. But
I I love the fact that he wants to go out and see the world, and if you can, definitely go out, buy the plane ticket, go travel. Hell, go travel within the United States. If you're on the West Coast, go to the East Coast. See how different the day-to-day life or the day-to-day person is. Excuse me. We're all the same, but like little mannerisms, how people act, the socialism or not socialism, the way we are, just the mannerisms and how we act out in nature, if you would, is different. Same thing if you go up to New York, it's just different than Georgia or different than Atlanta. Now take that and go over to France, go to England. I mean, granted, I would like to go to the Middle East, but that's pretty low on my travel plans. Japan, Italy, New Zealand, Russia, Spain, Poland, Sweden, Norway, any of the Finnish countries. Um, those would be places that I would like to go see.
I want to do it and I want to see it for myself because I don't like believing what people tell me. And I think that when I do, I end up being a fool. And I want to see it. I want to see it for myself and I want to experience it. And I want to live my life. And I'm going to try to, like, I don't know, like clean up part of my house. I'm going to try to do this. And I'm not going to hire a cleaner. As I said, I was raised Roman Catholic. I view this as a penance. And I think I need to do this for myself. I need to take accountability for bad things that I've done and for letting my life get this out of control. And I don't need a get out of jail free card. So I need to do that for myself and for my own closure as well. And I think also I want to live for the idiots out there that they're like looking to me to be a role model, right? Oh, not a good idea. But there are people that will see that and they'll think maybe to themselves, maybe I should do the same thing. And if I can do that for one person, well, I've already done it for myself. I've already done a good thing, and so it could only get better. And so that's what my plan is. I'm going to try to like rethink my life. I have had a lot of people reach out to me, people I would have never expected to reach out to me in ways that I never expected. And I understand that like I'm still very critical about religious fundamentalism, right? But when you paint with such a broad brush that you just include an entire group of people, you're just being you're being a piece of shit. It's like people said it was racist. I didn't mean it as racist, but if you listen to what I said, it's easy that you could assume that. It's so easy. And so I'm just a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking moron. I've been an asshole. I think that I've devolved for the last 2 years. I think that I've negatively affected other people too, in ways that I hate. I don't even hate to say this. Like I think I need to say this. I need to say it more. I've negatively affected people in ways that I regret. I think whenever I go back live again, I'll probably talk about that more. And like there's some just different people I kind of want to apologize to and take accountability for things that I've said and done that have negatively affected other people in ways that were unfair and wrong. And that's what my plan is. That's about it. I want to say that I hope that now, after you've heard what I have to say, that a lot of you all can see kind of why I'm saying that I appreciate this. I really think that this is something I needed, and I hope that this is the next part of the rest of my life. And
I'm gonna link the video down below if you guys want to listen to the last closing bits. But I've said a lot in this video, and I'm just gonna repeat it one last time. If you're somebody who is watching this video, write down all the things that you're doing well, that you think you're doing good in life, and be graceful. Don't be critical on yourself. Be kind. Write all the things, and then and then with that said, in that same breath, be honest with yourself, and write down all the things that you want to be better in, the things that you're not doing the best in. Be honest with yourself. And then every day, kind of write down at the beginning of each day, write down what your goal is for the day, and then just on that list of the things that you're doing good and the things that you're doing bad, slowly whittle down the things that you're doing bad, keep doing the things that you're doing good, and then the things that you're doing bad, slowly turn them into a thing that you're doing good and stack up on it. And all of a sudden, those small little changes are going to lead to a tidal wave of change, and it's going to be a whole lifestyle change. And you're going to look back and you're like, it never started at one point, but there was a decision that you made to take life by the fucking bull, by the fucking horns, and ride it like a bull. It's your life, right? The purpose of your life is to give it purpose. But with that said, if you guys like the way the words are flowing out of my mouth hole, like the video, subscribe, share it with a friend. If you guys are friends, well, if you are friends of Asmon, but fans of Asmon, critical of Asmon, share it, get the word out. I've been engaging with everybody in the comment section, especially in the first video that I put out, where it's like the internet is turned on Asmon. I had like 600 views, but I had damn near 100 comments. Like, the engagement on it has been fantastic. I appreciate everyone commenting, taking time out of their day to look at my dumb face and listen to the words spew out of my mouth. I'm just going online, seeing what I see on the internet, and instead of keeping it in and going like a crazy person, I'm just putting it out on the internet. And maybe there's some people who out there who like the way the words come out my mouth and kind of are picking up what I'm putting down, and then get a group of just, I don't know, I'm 30, so I'm just thinking a bunch of 30-year-olds who like the game, who like anime, who like sports, who like all of that, and at the end of the day want to see others succeed, and myself, I will succeed, and not because you are not going to succeed. We're all going to succeed together. I'm just good enough to succeed without others not, and I know you are too. And if you're about that energy, I welcome you.